Hey, Beau.
Hey.
Gemma from ASD Rocks and Beau from ASD Rocks. Now, we are on our way somewhere, aren't we?
Yep.
Where are we on our way to?
Pace or Pacer?
Yeah, that's the name of the place. What is it? What do they do?
Oh, it's a gym.
It's a gym. And you would usually be at school right now.
Yeah.
So what are you missing out on at school?
PE.
Sport.
Yeah.
So do you like sport generally?
Not quite.
No. So do you do what everybody else does in sport?
Not all the time.
So what do you do when all the other kids are, say, playing footy or when the teacher tells all the kids what to do? What do you do?
I'm pretty sure we just roam about.
You're just roaming around. Yeah, okay. So, what we decided to do, well, the school and I, and then the school obviously allowed it, was that during your sports class, which you have at the same time each week, I am taking you to the gym to have a session where you actually do some sport. So this way, what are you getting?
I'm getting more muscle strength.
Sure. So you're actually doing sport instead of just sort of walking around during sport. I pick you up early from school and we go down and we have a one-on-one session with a PE teacher, which, by the way, for those listening, is the place we go to is NDIS funded. If you get NDIS, don't start me there. But on my private health insurance, a 1 hour private lesson is costing me about $26. So it's not bad after my rebate. So, Beau, tell me about the sport that you've been doing. We've been going for a couple of weeks now.
The sport that I remember doing before Pace was hockey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. It's the last thing I remember before.
Okay. And did you like that?
Not really.
Why?
Because hockey, it has, like, hard balls to the point where you need to wear leg guards.
Yeah. Did you put the leg guards on?
Yeah.
And how was that, feeling those on you?
It was fine.
It was okay?
Yeah.
That's a good thing to know. Okay, but it was... But you still, even with the leg guards, you didn't feel that you could participate?
Yeah.
Because why? What were you worried about?
I was worried about getting somewhere where I was worried about the ball hitting somewhere where I was exposed.
Okay, so you're worried about being hurt. So now tell me about where we go. Tell me about what we do there instead of sport at school.
We work on my muscles.
How do you do that?
Like, working out, like push-ups and calf stretches.
Yep.
That sort of stuff.
And do you enjoy it?
Well, it's a bit better than sport. I'll be honest.
Well, that's a good thing. Do you think it's important?
Yeah.
Why?
Because while the other kids were developing their muscles, you really spent money on me becoming fluent in English, like speaking English,
learning to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. So while other kids were playing and doing kid things, we were doing other things. But why is it important for you now? Why is it important to have why do we need this strength?
Because I'm weaker for someone at my age.
Okay, all right.
And there are some muscles in my body that I've never activated before.
That's true. That's true. I'm hearing a lot of echolalia from you. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm actually hearing you repeating a lot of my sentences. I'm curious how much. I want to know not what you've heard me say, because you're a little recording machine. You remember everything I say, don't you? So I'm hearing a lot. I mean, everything you're saying is obviously right because it came from me, but I want to hear from you. Tell me about, so for example, the push-ups. How many can you do?
I'm pretty sure 12. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. What other exercises? Why is the calf stretching so important? Why?
Because I was a massive toe walker as a child.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what's really funny?
What?
You know, when you get to, you know, when you do what we call the bow dance, when you do the running up and back for a couple of hours each night, you actually do that on your toes still. You're still, because you don't have your shoes on. Yeah, believe it or not, you're actually still a bit of a toe walker. But what's happened is, you remember you were coming to me and saying that your legs were hurting?
Yeah.
Do you know why they were hurting?
I guess it's because I underdeveloped the calves. I'm not sure. Yeah, so basically what was happening was because, number one, you don't participate in any sports. You don't take your bike out for a ride, do you? Why not? Because I don't think I know how to ride a bike. But if you did, would you take your bike out for a ride? I never thought about that. You know, a lot of kids just get on their bikes and go for a ride. That's a pretty neurotypical thing to do. You see a lot of kids, like sometimes Dad and Finn go and they just go for a bit of a bike ride. Would you want to do that? I'm not sure, really. Yeah, look, I don't personally see you wanting to do that, just from what I know of you, but I'm not going to put those words in your mouth. So we've got some underdeveloped calf muscls from the toe walking. We've got basically your Achilles has never had the ability to stretch out, and so they're seizing and you're getting these leg pains, these calf pains, and that's when you come to me at home. Before we were doing pace, and what would we do for that? Calf stretches, but I never learned how to do them properly. What? No, because you know what? I got to tell you, mate, this whole autism thing, I didn't know anything about it before you were born. Like, when you were born, the only thing I knew about autism was what I'd seen in movies. And since then, I've not only had to... You've got your hand right in the... Since then, I've had to learn to become a speech therapist, an occupational therapist, a podiatrist, a developmental pediatrician. I've had to learn about neuroscience. I've had to learn about, sports physio. I've had to learn all these things that I, just had no idea about. So no, okay, how were we doing the calf stretches? I think I did it, but I'm pretty sure I did it far out, like... No, I mean, where did we go to do it? How did you... Stairs? There you go. How did you physically do it? So what did I make you do? Describe the action. So we put my hands on the walls and I try to make my heels go all the way down?
So I would get you to stand at the edge of one of the stairs. On what part of your foot?
On my toes?
On there's a specific part.
Oh, the balls.
The balls of your feet, right? And then what we would do is try and get you to drop your heels.
Yeah.
But you could only get about 90 degrees. You couldn't really drop those heels because I didn't have the equipment. And then I would make you try and do what? Once you drop them, then I would ask you to do what?
Raise them back up.
Raise up to your toes and then
Drop them.
Drop back down. But we weren't apparently achieving what for the last, I don't know, how long have we been doing this? Long time. Do you think it's been over a year that we've been doing this?
I don't think so. No.
Around about a year then. So without the proper equipment, I wasn't getting the right results. I just wasn't able to get you to stretch those calf muscles the way these guys could. So sometimes it's really important to get, you know, someone else who has the actual equipment to do it. So what else? So the calf muscles, which is huge, they've got, how do you do it there? What is it different that they do that from what we were doing?
They put something behind me and I wasn't allowed to touch it.
You mean standing on that wedge?
Yeah.
So try to explain in your own words. There's an item and it looks like what?
It looks like a pillory foam.
No, the one that you stand on. Do you know what I'm talking about? No? You know that wedge? It's like, it's on the floor. It's only about this big and it goes up steep like that. And you stand on it and it's as if you're standing with your heels near the ground and your toes up. Are you not remembering it? That's really interesting because you do it every time. Okay. Anyway, so what other activities do you do there?
The only thing that's popping into mind right now is push-ups and calf stretches.
It's the only thing. We've been doing this for about 4 weeks now.
Yeah,
that's okay. I don't mind. It's always interesting to me to know what you have taken in, if that makes sense. So when I ask you these questions, I'm learning too. I'm learning what you're taking in. So you've been doing all sorts of things. You've been doing and what's interesting is that the last couple of times you've had different people, haven't you? And how have you found that? Having a different instructor.
I'm pretty sure I'd be shy at first, but then I'd learn to warm up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they've all got a different way of explaining things though, don't they?
Yeah.
So that's also really interesting, is that they all have a different name for something. Some of them call them goblet squats. Do you remember the goblet squats?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You know that one where they make you hold the weight up near your chin and then you have to do what?
Oh, yeah.
So one of them called it a goblet squat. That was really interesting. And then a different person did the same thing without the weights, but they put a chair. And what did you have to do then?
I had to sit down on the chair and then tap it. I had to tap it with my butt and then raise back up.
Yeah, you're not allowed to sit down and relax and get back up, are you? It's like you have to imagine that the chair is hot lava, and as soon as your bum touches it, you go back up. So there's actually a lot of different exercises. You've also been doing a lot of upper body arm work. You've been doing those with the machine, the pulls, working on your working on your biceps and your triceps. You've been doing those jumps. What are those big jumps called? The kangaroo jumps, where you jump into a squat position.
Yep, they're kangaroo jumps.
Kangaroo jumps.
Yep, you just helped me figure out another exercise I've been doing there.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, there's heaps and heaps of exercises. Very interesting what you've taken away from what you remember to what, you don't. So that's very interesting. And you're happy going there and doing that instead of sport?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
All right, great. Well, and so as we continue, what should we expect? How have you felt after the sessions?
Sometimes I'd feel exhausted.
Yeah.
My muscles would be in pain for a couple of days.
Yeah. And
that's good.
It is good. It is good. Why is that good? How can pain be good?
Because it means I've used that muscle.
Exactly. It's an indication that you have actually used that muscle that you've never felt before in your body. It's an indication that you have that you've used it. So we will keep going, and hopefully eventually NDIS will fund you for this, but we'll keep going with it. But I'm really proud of you for taking to these things and doing these things for your own health and for your own exercise and self-improvement, because I think it's really important. ASD rocks, matey.
I'll try and get to it.